morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Hi, my name is Tequila Jones, and today we're going to talk about managing difficult participants. Okay? So I want everybody to close their eyes really quick. And I want you to think back to a time when you were conducting a training class. And think back to a time where you had a difficult participant. Think about how you handled that situation. Okay? Now hold on to that thought. And after we conduct this exercise, we're going to talk about that, okay? So by the end of this session, you'll be able to identify certain behaviors and be able to manage your responses to those behaviors in your classroom, okay? What we're going to do is we're going to break up into 2 different groups, 4 individuals in a group. And there's a sheet of paper that I gave you. I want everybody to turn it over. And we're just going to split the room down the middle. And there's an anagram that you can solve. Okay, the first one we're going to do together. Okay? So if I can have somebody read that first example. Kathy?
First one is hearing on a site conversation and monopolizing the discussion.
Okay, somebody read the response.
Set ground rules and boundaries for the training session.
Okay, thank you, Amy. Does anybody else have any other options that we could use for that situation?
I guess you could talk to them in private if it continued after you set the ground rules. So
Exactly. Exactly. So this is basically saying there's more than one way to handle any certain situation. So as you go through this example, there is an anagram at the bottom. You want to be able to solve it. We are in teams, so let's see which one can actually solve it first. And go ahead, I'm going to have a flip chart here. I want you guys to enter the results on the flip chart. Okay, so Chris, you actually have 3 minutes per group to complete the anagram. And then we're going to discuss some of the options that were there and if you have any better options. Okay. Well, do you have any other comments that you want to make?
Isn't it about time for us to take a break?
We are going to take a break. Does anybody else feel the same way?
I think
Maybe a little bit longer. Maybe just a little bit.
Well, if you can just give me a couple more minutes, then we'll take a break, if that's okay with you.
That's okay.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so if everybody can split up into groups and choose a spokesperson to actually write on the board, flip chart here. I think you do.
What's your saying?
And I'm going to give you guys 3 minutes to complete that.
Okay. Complaining.
So
Complaining.
A, maybe? You do want to address the issue. Just
Yes, so wherever there's a 1, it's an
That
S.
could be it. Don't make
Don't make
So the next one is complaining. So what do you do for someone who complains?
Hold on, man. There's a team.
And you are doing this as a team.
one is solved and one is C. It's C in here. One is solved, so it's the last letter of the last second.
Oh, no, it's
Oh, no, it's S.
And so let's further clarify the rules for the exercise. If you look at the answers, there's going to be a letter at the end of each column. So number 1 is S.
Clowning around.
Yeah, let's go back to that. How about D? All on them. Is that G?
I think so.
All of them. So the training process boundary.
Yeah, it could be that. Let's try that.
Or there's a 3, it'll be a T.
Let's try number 7.
Financial guidelines go in order.
Insensitive remarks of the victim. Number 7. That could be D as well.
Okay. We'll work on the,
Okay.
from 10. Okay. 10.
Yeah, you might be, so let's make that, I think, C. 6 might be different.
Okay, so we have another minute and a half.
All right.
Okay.
And where there's 5.
private if they're clowning around,
I'm
maybe?
telling you.
Maybe it's an age.
Number three would change.
Yep, that's a good.
Yeah. Have them assist
So
you.
E is
Assist
3.
you.
So another word.
G,
Because
could be complaining.
Or what's your option?
probably going to be a
It
constant.
could be G.
Yeah, G.
G is more specific.
How are
Oh,
we doing
yeah.
on the exercise?
H, that additional examples, further engage participants in one that's.
Wow. This is a good anagram, Tequila.
Okay, so time. As you guys can very well see, this anagram, just going through the anagram here is provoking a lot of thought-provoking questions. It could be several options for any situation. So therefore, that's the whole situation. There's never a wrong option for anything. Just so long as you're polite and you're respectful and you don't make the person feel out of place. Okay, so what are some things that you guys come up with going through? And I'll tell you I'll give you the answer to the anagram at the end. What are some questions that you guys came up with as these going through this process?
We're missing the point all the way down at the bottom because we started working, we split our teams up and started working bottom up. If they're missing the point,
Let me give you the first one. Number 5. Let's go to number 5.
okay.
Knowing your challenges. Which one do you guys have for that one? Challenging your knowledge.
So that was, the person on break.
You could talk to them on there.
That's a good idea. That's a good response, Kathy. Anybody else?
I offer to have them participate.
Very true. Very true. Anything else?
Maybe you could even stretch it to age, add additional examples. I'm sorry, I read that wrong.
Remain eye contact. Exactly. Okay, so I will give you guys the actual solution to the anagram. And then we can talk a little more. Okay, so this is actually,
Oh. Behaviors.
yes.
Yeah, we need to get it in there.
It's
Behaviors.
Are we taking that?
We got 2 of what, 12?
traits.
Great.
Behavior traits. So we just don't want to categorize people as difficult participants. We want to basically understand that there are different types of personalities, and there's different ways to handle those different types of personalities, so that we won't have a confrontation in the classroom, okay, and make them feel at ease. So does anybody else have any other comments? Let's go back to where we started from the beginning. You remember I had you guys close your eyes and think about your situation where you had a difficult participant. Is there any way that you possibly would handle it differently based on this exercise now? Are there any options that are best practice?
Yes.
Would you like to share?
I would I had people talking almost the whole morning,
Mm-hmm.
and I would have set boundaries and ground rules before I started.
Okay.
And during the 10:30 break, I would have spoken to them privately.
Wonderful. Does anybody else have anything else they'd like to share? One more option? Becky, would you?
I would not have changed my incident. It was the one where the participant threw the credit card at the instructor.
Mm-hmm.
And he was repeated, he repeatedly had some things going on in class when he was there. So I would have done the same thing.
Okay.
I would have had to really take him out of the classroom and report it to the supervisor.
Okay. And these are all plausible options here. It just depends on the situation and how, abruptly they're occurring in your classroom.